Today's question: does the universe have a sense of humor? Let's check the evidence. Saturn has a giant storm, and this isn't just any storm. This is an enormous vortex so perfectly hexagonal that it looks like somebody took a compass and drew a shape on the planet's surface. If you didn't know about this storm, you might assume it's a coincidence, a random fluke of nature. But you'd be wrong. Scientists know exactly why this storm forms, which means it's not only not random, but actually inevitable. In fact, NASA's Voyager spacecraft first spotted it in the 1980s. Later, the Cassini probe confirmed a six-sided jet stream, big enough to fit for Earth's inside. When scientists saw the photos, they were stunned. Nature doesn't usually make geometry this sharp. Here was a massive storm, but also a regular polygon, one of the most basic shapes in math. At first, they thought it was an illusion, caused by the way our brains perceive images. But then, they checked the data. And sure enough, there was a jet stream spinning at Saturn's North Pole, whipping around at 300 miles per hour, never slowing down, never changing shape. So how does Saturn make such perfect hexagons? Well, we have a pretty good idea. In 2010, researchers recreated the effect in their own fluid dynamics doodle. Yup, a hexagon was born. You may have seen something like this in a swimming pool. The ripples forming after you disturb the water. But this time, the team added rotation to their pool simulation. The results? A stable six-sided shape trapped in a never-ending cycle. It turns out that certain fluid patterns can form polygons when trapped in rotation. And here's the amazing thing. The exact same pattern appears in several places across the universe. From the smallest ripples in a pool to a gigantic storm on a faraway planet. We know the rules of physics are the same everywhere. So just like ripples in a pool, Saturn's atmosphere forms polygons. When trapped in rotation, only Saturn's hexagon is the biggest lab of all. But how does this happen on such a massive scale? How does a gas giant hundreds of millions of miles away follow the same rules as a swimming pool on Earth? Well, it starts with the rotation of Saturn itself. The planet spins on its axis faster than anything else in the solar system, completing one rotation every 10 hours at the equator. That means Saturn's rotational speed is over 9,000 miles per hour. And as it rotates, Saturn's atmosphere gets dragged along. But the atmosphere doesn't rotate as a single unit. There are clouds and winds and storms. Some parts of the atmosphere spin faster than others. And when some areas rotate faster than the ones next to them, shear zones form. Think of it like two kids on a merry-go-round. One spinning fast, one slow. The faster kid will drag the slower one along, but only up to a point. At some point, the slower kid will just get left behind. And that's what happens on Saturn. Areas of the atmosphere get dragged along until they can't anymore. Then new shear zones form and new polygons emerge. And since Saturn rotates so fast, these polygons persist for a very long time. Unlike storms on Earth, Saturn's storms don't have land to break them up. They can swirl around the planet for decades, maybe even centuries. Okay, so we understand the conditions that form the hexagon. We've seen similar effects in labs on Earth. We've watched them form in computer simulations. But we still don't know exactly why. It's a hexagon. It could be a heptagon or an octagon. Why is it always a hexagon? Unfortunately, nobody knows. One theory is that it has something to do with waves. We know that sound waves and light waves obey the same laws no matter the medium. Whether it's air or water, whether it's music or radio waves, the frequencies are the same. That's why you can listen to music underwater if you have the right equipment. All sounds are just vibrations traveling through different mediums. Well, if wave properties are determined by their environment, maybe the same is true of the storm polygons. Maybe the hexagon is determined by properties of Saturn's atmosphere, temperature, pressure, humidity, wind speed. Maybe they work together to create a hexagon. But if that's the case, we haven't figured out yet exactly how It's one of those mysteries that makes science exciting. Every discovery raises more questions. We learned that Saturn's storm is caused by shear zones. Now we're asking why those shear zones form hexagons. Maybe it's a message from the universe. Keep looking. Keep asking questions. As for me, I have a slightly different theory. Here's my hypothesis. You can't spell hexagon without a little h. Therefore, the real reason Saturn has a hexagon is because it's humble. The universe wanted to show off its geometry, but it didn't want to brag. So it spelled out the answer to its own riddle on the side of a planet. You can choose to believe in my theory, or you can believe in the science. Either way, the answer is pretty cool. A planet with a hexagon storm. Doesn't get much better than that. Now, I need a break from science. Let's watch some history. Ever wonder why the ancient pyramids were built? Some people say it was aliens. Others say it was magic. But trust me, it was neither. It was math. Pyramids are just the tip of the iceberg. Today's algorithm unlocks the secrets of the entire ancient world. You'll explore ancient Egyptian tombs with an interactive map. You'll uncover secrets of the Roman Empire with a click of your mouse. You'll explore the Great Wall of China by moving these blocks. This is hands-on history, where you're in control. That's why brilliant lessons are bytes. You can learn them anytime, anywhere. And you can track your progress towards mastery. It's the best way to learn something new. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more science videos like this, hit the like button. If you want to see more history videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Or if you want to see both, maybe you're just indecisive like me. Well, either way, thanks for watching.